Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday morning. Before we jump into the action, don't forget like, comment, subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you are interested in supporting us a little bit further, consider becoming a member here on our YouTube channel, or you can join our Patreon. If you're interested in joining any of our campaigns, we do have open slots available in our Tuesday campaign currently and in our Friday campaign. Be sure to reach out to me and let me know about any inquiries you may have. All right, Bernie, what the hell happened last week?
Shit happened. Now, well, after the previous session where the group had some encounters with the local Imperial Guards, Bernie and Kurt was inconvenienced by some irritable bowel syndrome, and we finally got back to the group last session and learned of what had happened and the accompanying troubles that were about to, well, ensue in Pride's Call. So we sat down. Lily had some, well, she had to work through her trauma for a little bit by herself. But the rest of us sat down for a while with the Starosta Gouldy of Pride's Call to discuss some of the plans going forward and where we would take it from here. And, well, we decided that we would go ahead and try to lure away the incoming commander and his forces. So we set up a kind of subterfuge with the apprentice Volstrucker that we had captured, and used him. Well, first we spoke to our father Agram, who supplied Mirian with a scroll of modify memory, and we used that on this apprentice Volstrucker to well, basically change his memory of what had happened, and Kurt, disguised as the other Volstrucker, sent him on a gave him a command to head out and meet the other, the commander and his forces, and gave them a kind of wild goose chase, going down to Allfield to secure a recently discovered mithril mine that's probably not there. So while that's taken care of for now, we still, at least Bernie still has his concerns about what might happen in Pride's Call when the Empire inevitably learns about their secession from the Empire. We've decided to stay here for a while, and 6 weeks have gone by, doing quite a bit of work in, well, each of us has different areas they want to focus on. So
on this note, we are going to speed run you through the 6 weeks of downtime you all commit to. Now, the first couple of days, Tolsha, you send Ascending out to Shale, wondering where she is, if she's all right, if she's safe. And unfortunately, nothing comes of it. Sorry. Fortunately, she replies, and she lets you know whatever she told you. I assume the two of you DM'd a little bit, so there you go. Deciding that you all want to spend some time here, learn more about the culture, the community, and your father, then that's, you all got set up here inside of the inn just to have your own personal place, far away from everybody else. Amy is more than happy to allow you all to stay here for as long as you would like. And rent-free, no extra cost. You're allowed to tip her if you would like, but that's your conscience if you would enjoy doing that at all. So, going through the first week, Bernie, you're carousing amongst the folk here in Pride's Call, learning about them, learning about their culture, and learning more from Agram. Could you elaborate on that?
Right, let me just find the list so I know exactly what I'm what I wrote. Right, so learning from Agram, that basically means he's trying to pick up more of what Agram started to learn or to teach us. The first 2 days we spent with him, learning.
So Zemnian.
Learning both Semnian and also some tricks and tips concerning espionage and counter-espionage, because Bernie feels like that could probably come in handy. So learning a little bit more of Thieves' Cant, if possible, but not really focusing on it.
All right.
Yeah, so it's more focused against how spies operate and what to look for in regards to Imperial agents. Yeah.
Luckily, that is a lot of what Thieves' Cant actually is. So you, Kurt, and Tolsha are all going to be learning Thieves' Cant with Agram simultaneously during the first week. All three of you wanted to do this. So you get to spend some good quality family time with one another and learn this hopefully very useful skill here in the future. Aside from that, in your free time, you're going about town, presumably helping a few people with just remedial tasks, learning from them, talking to them, learning and ingratiating yourself into the community just a little bit further.
When I wrote familiarizing himself with the area, it also means Bernie will take some time to, well, if you can rent a horse or something, just ride around the countryside a little bit to familiarize himself with tactical or strategical placements.
What level paladin are you?
Level 6.
You don't have to rent a horse, buddy.
Right, fair enough.
You get a horse.
Nice. Well, I suppose we already have horses, so
yeah. Like, all right. So you do all of that during the first week. Lily, you are going to be trying to finish Bernie's full plate armor set. Now, in town, there is a blacksmith. Let me bring Lily over to that map.
Yeah, Lily does not mind collaborating with a fellow architect of steel and whatnot.
Alrighty. A younger half-dwarf, half-elf, half-dwarf, half-halfling, so 3/4ling, is the blacksmith of this town.
So a dwelfling or
3/4ling.
Okay.
Yes. And, well, she'll allow you to use her shop, no problem. So long as you can bring all of your own materials. She doesn't have an influx of any of these things. She's willing to purchase pieces that are missing using party funds. All right. So, Bernie, what's your current armor set?
It's a splint mail, the one I stole off one of the veterans at the resort.
And splint mail is valued at what, 200 gold?
Something like that. I think 250.
And as a
250.
And as a reminder, Lily does have the half plate that she did start working on it already.
Oh yes, you have the half plate. Okay. And what is the price of half plate?
Check. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, I'm looking it up too.
Armor 5e.
Yep. So half plate is 750.
750. Okay, that's half the price of the actual item. So you need 750 GP worth of materials in order to craft the rest of the plate.
And if I get the splint mail that he's currently wearing for both the sake of measurement as well as melting down the steel in it, how much would be left?
You are aware that building plate armor takes 300 days in 5e, correct?
Shoot.
Oh,
And as an artificer, that's half.
Oh,
So 150 days.
okay. And I've already spent enough time to make.
You've already spent 3 weeks. So 21 days off of 150.
Oh my god.
That's a lot. Jesus.
20
It's the
days.
best armor in the game.
Yeah, but it's also the most expensive.
What if we gave her a haste potion?
Oh, yeah. Why? Why is it so expensive? Because people could build one in a day? No, it's 130 days worth of doing this that you can do. So if you want to spend 1 week working on it, we'll knock that off. So list it on your character sheet
Right.
that you have 131 days to craft the plate mail. Or actually just do the amount of days you have worked out of 150.
Yeah, so that's.
So you've done 21 days, and are you doing just that this week?
Just the. Yeah. Like Lily's.
All right, so add another 7. So you're up to 28 out of 150 days.
Jeez Louise.
And we're using the half plate right now, not his splint, the half plate.
Right.
Cool. It's a long,
Well, I mean,
tedious task.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I said I'll purchase the pieces I don't have, because I'm fairly sure going from scratch it's that full day. But if I get other pieces that are already pre-built and stuff, kind of like putting a.
The Empire is in a state of war right now.
Oh, that's a good point.
Pride's Call does not have access to imports. The Empire has first dibs on all metal that comes across this area in order to supply their troops with everything they need.
So what you're saying is
It's not readily available. If you find more of it, you can scrap more of it, but it's a very long process, and you're at 28 days out of 150 so far.
okay.
Okay?
Right. And then, since that's the case, as a heads up, Joey, I will be. If we do maybe encounter people wearing metal or using metal and stuff, Lily will probably be scavenging and using that to help towards the progress of this.
What about the
No worries
Imperial
at all.
soldiers that we killed? What armor were theirs?
Chain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had chainmail. So, I mean, you don't need the chain aspect of the plate mail. He already has that. So
I'd say we should donate those to the city guard anyway, the new city guard.
I figured that was the case anyways.
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. So yes, if you just want to preemptively remove that amount of gold that it is going to cost you to do the labor, all of that jazz, now we can do that just so it's done out of the way and you don't have to think about it for your next craft. All right? Just label it in your sheet somewhere that you did that. Sound good?
Yeah, I've already added like a little TikTok. I didn't want to say TikTok, but
Yeah.
counter.
I gotcha. All right. So you continue working on this for another week. And Marion, you are inquiring with your father about some magic. This is one of the roleplay moments we will have to do. Marion, during the evening, after your other 3 siblings are done their tutelage with your father, you approach him as he is sitting there reading from one of his many, 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 many books. Go ahead.
Am I interrupting?
No, I know what's going to happen. Closes the book.
You can kind of see like he's trying to like put the words, and it's like this is still really weird for him to talk to him.
Oh, yeah. And Agram just sits there watching you the entire time.
You are one of these Imperial wizards.
Duh.
Same as the ones we fought.
He nods.
We have the body of the master spy. And I am skilled in both the study of necromancy and of the medical arts. I wish for your help to dissect this body so I may learn its magical secrets and what kind of abilities and training they have gone under. And if I can potentially, if those are of any use to myself or my family.
Very well. He'll stand up. Do you have Zabati on you?
I think he's in the bag of holding.
You can just say
Yeah,
yes
sorry.
if you want. Like, Lily, do you mind if Marion borrows the bag of holding to have the dead body on him?
Technically, there's
Yeah.
3 in there right now.
Yeah, Lily doesn't mind.
Yes.
Then come with me. And he will lead you down past the library, past a chest room, past a smithing room that he has, past his personal quarters where he sleeps whenever he doesn't fall asleep sitting in his chair at the very top of the entire building, into an autopsy room.
Damn, is this the bottom floor? There are more stairs.
There's more
Jesus,
stairs.
this guy's prepared.
Have you ever seen crazy people in their bunkers,
Yes.
man? Then take the body out. Place it on the table.
Alright. Place it down gently, lay it out, make sure nothing has, like, no bones or vessels have been disturbed. I'm a medical student. I know what to do to make sure a body doesn't get fucked.
Absolutely. And surprisingly, he knows medicine as well.
Well, this is gonna be fun.
For similar reasons.
Ooh.
He takes out scalpels that he has at his disposal. He gets several jars prepared along the sides of the walls and has these giant blue gloves that fit over his hands. But he... Oh, wait, no. He would have a set that fits you as well. Your hands are much bigger than his.
Of course.
Yeah. And he starts going through the systems. So, the Volstruckers are individuals who have an innate aptitude for magic. We are people who are attuned to it, can recognize it, and manipulate it through little effort. And then we are amplified with the attachment to all the magic in our area. The pro of this is we become far more powerful far more quickly. The downside to it is if we survive to my age, the magic that we can attach ourselves to dwindles considerably. If you see here in the veins, and he slices open a large artery and opens it up, you see these bluish purple crisscross little networks going through it that looks weird. That's supposed to be, you're supposed to have like nerves and stuff in your body, but your veins aren't supposed to have networks that visible all throughout it. This is the byproduct of having your self injected with the Volstrucker serum. Eventually your body crumbles underneath it, or it adapts to it. A successful Volstrucker adapts. Like this one.
And what of the ones that can't adapt?
I do not know. I've never met one. I've had other Volstruckers fail graduation ceremony with your last injection. And then they disappear. Presumably dead. Now, this magic that we wield. Much like you draw runic markings in the air in order to draw forth the magic. Command it to manipulate and do as you say. This is just an amplification of that process. Something that you have studied for years, the serum could accomplish in a single year. So long as you're smart enough to read everything and learn from it. No. He takes a pair of tweezers and starts pulling the threads out from the vein and placing them into jars. These are the only remnants of the serum that I am familiar with, that I've ever seen. You want to study something, this is it. You're welcome to this room whenever you need. Do you have any other questions?
Is the serum the only introduction to the body to enhance it?
No.
When we had a moment to examine the body, the jaw underneath exploded. I believe it was a rune.
He opens his mouth and lifts his tongue upwards where you see that there's a runic marking underneath it. Yes, all of us that succeed in attuning to the serum. We have this in place so we cannot, even in death, speak about the secrets that we wield. It is also in place so that our master, who trained us, could speak a command and immediately kill us. It is one of many reasons I've never gone after them.
And it's right under the tongue, you said.
Yeah, right underneath the tongue. But they do not speak of that part of it when you get the tattoo. There's many people who have learned how to manipulate magic into static tattoos across the area. It requires a tremendous amount of gems that have been dusted, infused into the ink, and you can imbue them onto the bodies. There are rumors of individuals who have been able to enhance themselves. Me, for instance, and he pulls off the coat side of his left-hand side and then lifts his shirt. You see on his back that there appears to be wolf paws going out to the side. This gives me the ability to move much more quietly at night. I was never very good at it, so I went out of my way to get this in order to be better.
And this is an example of a magic tattoo. Yeah. Okay.
Correct. He's just explaining they're not just for enhancing, they also have other foul properties you can do, like that marking on the
Gotcha.
tongue. But is there anything else you need from me?
Do the Volstruckers have some sort of defensive training? Because initially based on wizards, but they are meant to be able to get in to infiltrate, supposedly survive in a surprise ambush. How do they survive these situations?
Most of us were trained in the arts of being the hunter, not the hunted. So, though I have been able to learn a few things along the way to better safeguard myself from all of them. One of the best ways to do that is a spell called Counterspell. Are you familiar?
Yes, I am.
How about Shield?
Yes.
Blur?
No.
It is much harder for them to hit you when there are many of you. Unless, of course, they just want to hit all of you. You have to be a part of the evocation school in order to gain access to those spells most of the time. This individual was under the enchantment school, which is why he is exceptional at manipulation of individuals. The evocation school has the least amount of graduates from the Volstrucker program because they don't need that many of us. If you would like to learn this spell, I'd be more than happy to show you my old book.
Thank you.
He nods.
One last thing before I examine the strings. I would like your help deducing where this one spent most of his time. As what I can see, you are trained in medicine, so you know travel and where we go tends to stay on us longer than we can usually think.
He lifts the hand and shows you the back of it. Points at the nails. He lived inside of cities most of his life. There's no dirt on his hands, no scarrings from mistakes, no splinter markings. You don't need to be good at medicine to realize. Look at a man's hands or their feet. You will know the history. Look at all your siblings' shoes. You'll see where they travel and where they've been. This individual, I assume, was meant to be an intimidating force. One who traveled along different areas and manipulated people of high prestige and position here in the Empire, possibly yonder. But given his complexion, I doubt he spent much time, if any, outside of the Empire. They don't like us leaving the country, unless it is for a job. I'd say Rexingtrum. I will leave you to your investigation.
Thank you.
Wordlessly heads upstairs. So, first week of downtime is complete. The second week, Bernie, you are going to be continuing learning Thieves' Cant, or are you now switching over to Zemnian? Keep in mind, you need 10 weeks minus your intelligence modifier to learn a new language or skill.
Still focusing on Zemnian.
Very well. So he will be teaching you Zemnian while teaching Tolsha and Kurt Thieves' Cant, while spending the evening going over the Volstrucker serum and its components with Miriam. Miriam, I now need you to roll me a Arcana check.
Okay. Do I get advantage because he's helping me?
Sure. Anybody he's helping will have advantage.
Take it where I can get it. Oh, I needed it.
17. This serum has a compound that derives from something that's natural. You can't quite place what it is, but you're imagining it's a specific resource that can be found somewhere in the world. You're not positive what it is, though, yet. You're probably going to need at least another week of examining to figure that out, if you're willing to spend your next week doing that.
I will be.
Now, okay. During week 2, Lily, you wish to approach Agrum about learning some things?
Yeah, but this time I've enlisted Bernie to assist. Or at least, with the
All right.
with the persuasion stuff.
All right. So you and Bernie approach Agrum after he's leaving the autopsy room with Miriam. And it's not a hidden room. Any of you are allowed to wander around this place freely. He's not restricting your movements at all. In fact, the front door is the only one that's locked, but all of you have been signaled that when you approach the door, it will unlock. So the two of you approach him as he's wiping some body goo off of his hands.
Before that, Lily, did you want me to? Did you want to be there when I asked, or not? Just to be clear.
It might be for the best if I'm not there, but I also need to get my bag back that I lent Miriam.
Right. Well, maybe you can go do that while I speak to him then.
Right.
All right. I go in and a little bit ahead of Lily, so it doesn't seem like we're coming in as a pair, sort of.
Baron?
Agrum. I've got a sort of inquiry. Well, you see, the Volstrucker had these scars on his arm. And I couldn't help but notice that you've also had the same. Bernie's being like, obviously trying to think of a better way to say this, but right, Lily wants to know what it's all about, and I want to know what it's all about. Those scars, what is it? And does it have any sort of... Are there any magical effects to it that... Well, she would like to know whether it's something that can be replicated or improved upon.
Roll me a persuasion, Bernie. Humanely. Yeah, it's a dead body. He's not using it anymore.
I'm going to use the recap inspiration on this.
Go for it. Go for it. $19. You do realize that this information is incredibly dangerous in the hands of any power on this plane.
I honestly have little understanding of what exactly it is, so but I do trust Lily. I know she's sometimes a bit reckless. I am as well. But she is highly competent. And so long as she has someone of a more, shall we say, responsible nature around her while she's working on such things, whatever it might be, I think she could do a lot of good with it.
If I explain this to you, will you take responsibility for her actions that she takes with this information? Do you feel that strongly about her capabilities?
That is a difficult question. But I will do my part in ensuring that it's not being used for anything nefarious. And I will hold her accountable if she's doing things with it that, well, shouldn't be done, as it were.
Very well. Lily. He looks back in the autopsy room as you're getting the bag from Mirian.
Quick question. In the autopsy room, the Volstrucker's body is there and it's fully dissected already, right?
Yeah, Miriam's.
Yeah, it has a lot of cuts all over.
Yeah, but before he calls him over, Lily's just looking at that and looking at the bag and looking at Miriam.
Hey, Marion, what you got there?
Oh, you know, just getting the dead to talk.
I mean, give me a day and I can probably get him to speak volumes even without his jaw. I'm just gonna take this back and this. Okay.
Yeah, and that's when she goes to Agram and
Agram.
yeah, Agram.
So you wish to know more about the scars that the Volstruckers have and learn about the magics and the process.
Well, I mean,
This is... Go ahead.
from the looks of it, Marion already beat me to it.
His studies is in practical magic. I believe a different mind and different skill set would be able to discern far more about this. But I have to warn you, the Lyceum, if they had information to the Volstrucker process, they would have it sealed away in their strongest bolts. Do you wish to bear this responsibility?
Yes.
Very well. He'll go back into the autopsy room where Marion is working currently, sits down in one of the lying tables, removes his jacket, removes his shirt, and he has like those old man muscles where like he's starting to get a little flub and they're like deflating a little bit, but he's definitely still fit. And he shows you his arms, which are just streaking all the way up with these bluish purple veins that pulse through him. We are injected 6 times in our lives with the serum. The serum is a compound that I am not familiar with, and there has never been a trace of it left behind until he gestures over at the table. The serum awakens our minds to perceiving the ambient magic in the location and allows us to pull it forth and work far more quickly with it. For instance, Marion, how many years have you been practicing magic?
Probably at least 6.
I did the math
Okay,
already. You're 6
thank
years.
you.
Yes. And what level of magic are you capable of wielding right now?
At the moment, 3rd.
By the time I was 3 years into practicing magic, I was able to wield 5th.
Okay, that wides his fucking eyes wide open.
As you know, wielding magic is not just knowing the spell, the incantation, and how to pull it, but having the strength to manipulate the ambient magic within the area and wielding it that way. The serum allowed me to do this. Even though I was a prodigy of magic, that amplified me even further.
May I get a closer look?
He gestures to the table where there's a number of syringes sitting there. And trigger warning for anybody who doesn't like that shit. You may take a sample.
And
I guess Marion's in the room too, right? At this point, or
Yeah, this is helping
yeah.
my research too.
right? And this serum, is he gesturing it like take it out of mine or do it on the body?
Yeah, take a sample of
Okay.
his blood to examine it, you know?
And as Lily's not actually proficient in medicine, she's gonna get the syringe but give it to Marion, who's
Knows how to draw blood.
As you're about to disturb him, he will take it from you and take his own blood because he knows how to do it as well. Here you go. You'll mostly want to look for the vein, aim towards the center, and push upwards and in to be able to get it. Not too far. Barely pierce it.
So in my head, I was just imagining Lily being like this, and then like punctures Marion.
Stab.
Just like no, little to the right, and keep stabbing until she gets it.
So, now, if you wish to alchemically alter any of this, we do have an alchemist room downstairs, fully set up. The next level is the alchemist room.
I call dibs.
You're more than welcome. The serum is a created compound that has, well, from what your brother suspects, a natural property about it. Something that magically, or naturally, wields magic inside of it. And that they are fusing and altering. So, there you go. And Lily, for your week, examining all of this, as we're entering into week 3, you are coming to a resolution. Roll me, what tool proficiency do you think would help you with all of this?
I mean, he did say alchemist, and I do have training in alchemist supplies.
Then there we go. Roll alchemist utilizing intelligence.
And I'll use, I think I still have last week's DM inspiration for this.
I gave you DM inspiration?
Yeah, well,
You said something funny, didn't you?
Probably.
I think it was either something funny or it was because I did the thing last week. The
Backstory.
the intro recap.
Oh, those don't carry over week to week.
So So maybe I might
Yeah.
not have it anymore. Then I have it lit up.
Well, use your session inspiration. Use your session
Okay.
inspiration. Well, if you have it clicked on your sheet, oh, you were gifted it by somebody, I think.
That make
Probably
Oh yeah,
Otis.
someone
sense.
paid last week.
Yeah. That was probably Otis. So yeah, you may use
Oh.
that. 22. I'm feeling 22. I still need to listen to the new one. Anyways. You're taking this apart, and there's nothing like microscopes in this era. You have to like look at the property of the blood itself and discern very unique properties about it by testing it attached to leeches and to other choice things that you have access to in this very extravagant alchemist room. That Agram will tell you that Mirian's first year at the Lyceum, he showed interest in alchemy, though he did not pursue it. He just got the room just in case. Yeah. Microscrotus. Fuck you. Anyways. You discern two features of this. There are a number of different ways that people can wield magic. The way that you understand magic is it is omnipresent. It is always within your presence and location and can be drawn from more powerful sources or less powerful sources within it. It could be the air, it could be the earth, it could just be in the ether itself that you wield your magic and pull it from. This blood puts out a signal that kind of attaches to the omnipresent magic in the area to wield it more powerfully. The second thing you realize about this, Agram is only in his 50s, like early 50s, but he has the blood of a 70-year-old. This magic, because of its attunement, it's the blood, because of its attunement to magic, is slowly speeding up the rate at which he ages, or at least his body ages. So it is killing him.
So to summarize it, the serum is aging him quicker.
It's kind of condensing how much magic you could wield, but it's also condensing your life because of that. The body is not meant, most bodies are not meant to wield that powerful of magic, especially forcibly. You would need to be a sorcerer or something like that to be able to do that. And that is your resolution of week 2. Week 3.
Do I have to roll for
Bernie.
week 2's arcane?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. At this point, you've examined the nature of the blood and the threads. You've condensed it, you've frozen it, you've burned it, you've boiled it, you've done everything you can to different segments of it. There's a lot of it inside of a body, but the body is non-noticeable anymore. It's unrecognizable. And you've moved on from examining the body to going over tomes that Agram has at his disposal. As you are comparing it with one of his old mission ledgers that he had, one of the last jobs that he picked up, where he was supposed to infiltrate Whitestone and steal a large shipment of items to bring back to be utilized by his master. This box contained an unknown magical glass shard that he was not aware of. That when he inquired further about it, found out that it was called residuum. And the nature of residuum, when it is burned at a high enough quality, matches that as the threads of the blood. So they are being physically injected with magically altered residuum.
Oh, fucking A. This is a Dragon Age reference.
Funnily enough, I've never played that one either. Anyways, that is what you discern. Week 3, everybody. Bernie, more Zemnium with Agram, and do drills with the local militia. Focus heavily on defensive tactics against superior numbers. They are more than happy to take your suggestions with this, and the militia is growing every day from individuals that are volunteering to assist with all of this. And it gives you time to practice your Zemnian because everybody here speaks Zemnian.
Oh.
So you're giving instructions and they're like, no, you just said penis, not right hand. And then you get to manipulate it that way. Tolsha, Tolsha, Kurt are now learning Thieves' Cant still. Marion, you are continuing your research with the magic, and Lily, after discerning what you discerned about it, you are now conducting business with the silk from the spectral silkworms to get funded. Goldie has to put it in his name to allow you to do the business here. There is so much regulation bullshit in the Empire, it's almost as bad as America. So it's easier to put everything in his name.
That works. Quick question though, is there like, because I don't think anyone's ever dealt with undead silkworms that make spectral silk, is there like a loophole in the regulations? Because like, and to do these live, to carry these live things, you have to do da. But since these are undead,
he'll put in a regulation request to be able to deal with stuff like this, but that's going to take 6 to 10 months. In the meantime, he's going to take it to the master silk workers who've been working with silk for generations, dwarven generations, in order to try to figure out how to use it before it gets proper regulation. It's just the way the Empire is. Everything is fucking bureaucratic and it's annoying as shit. But anyways, he is going to be setting this up for you. And I need you to roll me a Weaver's check.
Aha, I am proficient in this as well.
Yep.
Oh shit, that does.
This is wisdom.
Yeah, that does remind me, and I can't believe I completely forgot about it. So I'm actually an expert in all these, but I don't know how to change my tool stuff to that. So the 22 would have been a 23.
On your sheet where it's... All right, that makes a very little difference. Well, the 22 wouldn't have been 23. It would have been an additional +3, so it would have been a 25. Which doesn't really make a difference in your check. You hit PC. But when you drop down menu... Sorry, I'll just...
I see it now, actually. I'm like, I'm a dumbass. Yeah. But I'm dealing with that now. I'm just going to roll it now, get out of the way. Wisdom, you said?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
You hate to see it.
8. You haven't learned if there's anything special, but they can use them like normal worms right now, which is fine. They'll take that and they'll start doing that, and they'll set aside a small little fund for you here as that happens.
Just to clarify too with it, I'm not selling the worms themselves. It's more of like we've had these for a while, and so they've built up silk most likely, and I'm selling the silk that they've built up.
They don't really build up silk. You have to milk them for worms, don't they?
Yeah, and you didn't have the system set up. So if you would like instead to have them make you a system that you can tinker with and make mobile inside of your wagon, they could do that, so you can now start accumulating the silk.
Okay, that sounds good.
Because that's been the biggest thing that's been stopping you, is you haven't been able to accumulate because you've been traveling. Yeah, okay, then we're changing your check. Roll me a Tinkerer's check.
Aha. With wisdom.
Utilizing intelligence. Yeah. Well, now it's creation. Now it's
it's better, even though it's a 2.
Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, you're gonna have to be real careful about any large hits that happen. One good thing is silkworms produce more silk in the humidity and where it's moist. And in the Empire, it is very moist.
They're undead. Do they take in moisture?
Yeah, they still take it in. It's just... Now it's gooey. Anyways, that is what you accomplished there. Marion, I need another check from you if you are looking for something in particular past what you have already done.
Jeez. And we know it's made of residuum. What's it gonna do? I'd like to just. I guess we could try to find out how the residuum is manipulated, but from this product, is that possible?
It'll be difficult. Are you proficient in alchemist supplies?
No, I have no tools at all.
Then roll me a straight intelligence check. You're at least smart.
Come on. No.
11. This is not your area of expertise anymore. Deconstructing compounds and reconstructing them how they're supposed to be. You're outside. You did what your Gen Ed classes for alchemy have taught you thus far. Alrighty. On to week 4. Week 4, everybody. Bernie, more Zemnian, more drills. Lily, construct permanent prosthetic voice box. This way I can free up in infusion. Yes, 100 GP. Okay, Lily?
I thought it was okay. That's fine.
It's 100 to create a permanent common magic item. Is it 50?
Yeah, it should be. I posted the thing, like the Xanathar's rules for that.
Well, you posted the thing for the other thing that I saw. I didn't see this one. But yeah, if it's 50, then it's 50. Go for 50.
Yeah, it's yeah, for common rarity it's 50. For uncommon 200, and it gets bigger.
Tolsha, Kurt, more thieves can't. At the end of this, you're both going to be 6 weeks down out of your, I think, 7 weeks, both of you.
No, I'd only need 6.
You're both
I have +4 on intelligence.
Oh, so Tolsha's going to need 1 more week, not you. But anyways, Marion, are you going to be following the same path with your magical studies? You can roll again.
Roll the Arcana?
Yeah, if you want to keep pursuing this.
Yes, I would like to keep pursuing this. This is interesting. Do I still have Agram's help?
Yeah. Aside from teaching thieves can't, he's not really doing anything right now.
21.
21. All right. So, well, it wasn't supposed to be Arcana. It was supposed to be Intelligence.
Oh, I'm sorry. So -3.
-3, 18. That's a different outcome. The notes he has on Residuum is that he was not able to produce a heat hot enough to actually deconstruct it and to turn it down into a liquid, which means they would need something incredibly hot, presumably something like lava kilns, which are very rare, at least here in the Empire. There's not a whole lot of, volcanoes out here. But presumably, they would melt down the Residuum, make it less condensed by watering it down with other magical infusions like gem dust and just ether that they produce, different potion compounds, and then inject utilizing that. The amount that they inject, you're not sure. And Agram does not know either because they always inject it into the back of the neck. So you now know that you need an incredible fire to deconstruct the Residuum, and you need a lot of different compounds to water it down. Alrighty. Now we are on to week 5. Bernie continues his training. Same thing with you and Zemnian. 10 weeks minus intelligence modifiers, how many you need. You're getting very high up there right now, though. Thieves can't. And Lily, you are now working on a spell gauntlet for Marion.
Yeah, and I'm RP wise, it's after some of that stuff about the I was about to say lyrium, but the Residuum and the like magic happens, and this is like, I wouldn't say a prototype, but it's inspired by that.
Alrighty. So, at the end of this week, Lily approaches to you, Marion. Go ahead.
Hold still for a second. I need to take some measurements.
And she just begins examining your hand. your dominant like spellcasting hand.
Okay.
All right. Do you prefer leather or do you want like heavy? What's what
What
kind
are
of
you
gloves do
doing?
you? Working. What are you doing?
Also working.
I say you should let me do this so I can continue working.
Fine. Leather. It can breathe.
All right. Leather. So like fingerless gloves then, or? Yeah. No, I'll just go
Sure.
fingerless. Yeah.
All right, cool. End of the week goes by, do-do-do-do-do, and you approach him with the new item. Go ahead and send him over the information about that so he knows what it does.
Already did. To let him know because yeah.
All right. Kurt, after learning Thieves' Cant for a number of weeks, you now approach over to your father, and you are now looking to create a fake letter. Please, go ahead.
Dad, thanks for the lesson in Thieves' Cant. Well, as you know, I gotta keep pretending to be this weasel guy. Sounds like weasel. I think that's a little funny. But I sent them on a wild goose chase after a giant monster and a mithril mine in Offfield, and I think I'm gonna have to keep doing this as this guy. So I was wondering if you could help me out in forging a letter to make it look like real Volstruckers made it, because I can forge a letter just fine. I'm gonna start taking out my forgery kit, but I'm not sure what they actually put on it, like if there's any seals or little things that they write in there as a hidden message. Plus I have that illusionary script spell, and I think I'm gonna have to use this spell when I get to the next town.
Everything they write, or sorry, everything that we write down, is sent directly to the intended individual. You get a piece of magical paper, you scribe upon it with some magical ink, and you cast it into a fire to then go to the intended individual you wish to send it to. That is how we communicate far distances. We use precise sentences with only the facts that we know and our further pursuits past that. It is all very mechanical. There's no fluff language. There's no wasted lettering.
Okay, that's actually very good to know. How would I learn how to send letter like that through a fire?
I can teach you. Oh, or apparently Marion can teach you. Here, I'll spend the week teaching you. If you do not.
Well, I mean, I don't know any of the other Volstruckers, and that's why. Oh,
Well, you're going to have to keep your eyes and ears out for any of them. If you receive one, at least you'll know who to send it back to. You always sign with your script at the end of the paper.
got it. Okay, I guess I'll work with Miriam on that one. Thanks. That was rather interesting. I'm going to start working on this leather then about Mithril and Caulfield. And do you have any idea what the monster is out there? I think I asked you originally, and you said it was far away. But
That is very far away. I do not know what transpired. I've only heard rumors, and I do not wish to spread those.
oh, but I have to spread those. So, like, please just give me any idea that you have. Is it like a giant wolf or?
It is a giant worm that came up from under the ground. That entire body is hot like magma.
God, yeah, that's great. Thank you. I really appreciate this, Dad. Thanks. I'm just gonna walk away.
All right. And the final week, everybody. Bernie, this is your last week where you have to learn Zemnian, right? No, you need one more week past
Yep.
this to be fully proficient. All right. But you have now learned that Weasel translate in Zemnian to weasel, just like Kurt was laughing at. It is a perfect translation. His name literally meant weasel.
Good enough.
All right. Lily, you finish working on the spell gauntlet during this week, tinkering with it, making sure it fits properly, making sure the properties of it are perfect, in which they are, because that is what artificers do. Tolsha, Thieves Can't, good. Marion, one last check, unless you wanted to change what you do in this last week.
No, I'm gonna keep going on this. So intelligence, right?
All right. One more intelligence. Yep. Actually, this time I need a medicine check
Ooh,
from you,
I'm better at that.
because you figured out how to diffuse it, how to water it down properly, but now you need to figure out the amount that the, well, humanoid body could take.
Ooh, thank God Agram's helping me.
Yeah, 24 is good. It depends on the makeup of the individual. If somebody like you would need roughly 1 whole ounce, because your body is far larger than most other people. Though, they would need to be very very tough to be able to maintain it inside of their bodies. If it was somebody like Bernie, roughly the same as yours, mostly because he, as a tiefling, has a naturally higher body temperature and is more resilient to things going into it. It burns through things super quickly. Remember, there is a feat that tieflings get to take to gain con save, like advantage against poisons and shit. Lily, relatively the same thing. This serum would not work on Tolsha at all.
Interesting.
Her body is immune to it.
Because it's a poison.
So that's why there's no Yuan-Ti Volstrucker. Interesting.
Also, because they're racist shits.
Well,
Hey,
I mean, yeah, mostly that one. But yeah.
Tolsha is not racist.
Question.
We cannot make you better. We do not want you.
Question. With the information I have now, is there any relation to the Volstrucker serum to the super kill potion we found with the giants?
There is a relation to it. The kill potions are not... You would need another week to discern too many more features. There is a similarity between the two of them. Absolutely. But you would need somebody to alchemically deconstruct the other stuff.
Okay.
Right. And you're on your final week of downtime. So, this is everything you know right now. Everybody else, you have resolved your downtime.
One thing. I did mention at the end that I would be spending 1 hour every day of the 6 weeks sparring with Kent, just as an aside. But more importantly, I'm asking Tolsha every week to do a sending on my behalf to either, well, Cecilia or Lord Delrin Darktower of the Iron Oath, to keep up to speed on what their plans, or what the Tal'Dorei military plans have in mind.
I hate to correct you. Commander.
Right.
Darktower. He's not just the Lord. He's a commander.
Right.
Don't insult the man. He works.
Yeah,
Didn't I say Lord Commander?
Damn it, you beat me to it.
Well, I mean, like, but what you said right there was Lord.
Right.
Lords don't work for a living. He's a commander.
Yeah, because I also got to explain to Cecilia who I am.
Yep. Which, I mean, it's 6 weeks. You can do all of that. And yes, you can do all of that. No problem. Keeping him in the loop and Cecilia in the loop. The commander... I'm just going to say it because the two of you are going to hear it. The commander is devising a plan to actually infiltrate the Empire by moving up through the canal from this point of interest. But they first have to create a forward operating base on the far reaches next to Whitestone, connecting into the Menagerie Coast. That first needs to happen so they have a closer base of operations into the Empire itself.
Right. I'm going to let him know that I'm at his disposal to some extent if there's something he needs to get done on this side.
Oh, he wants you to keep giving him information on this shit.
You're
But
in deep,
anyways.
boy.
Oh, yeah. A week into all of this, everybody? Or, sorry, 6 weeks into all of this. And you're all sitting at the Armstrong Tavern, having some ale, hanging out with the dwarven militia, just chilling, chillaxing, being cool. And you all are startled as the front door to the tavern is slammed open very suddenly. And you see a human walking in. I think we're going to go on break, and when we come back, everybody, you're going to be meeting John.
A human walks into a bar and the bartender says, "What do you want, Humie?"
We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back, everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Before we jump back into the action, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. All those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in supporting us a little further, consider becoming a member here on our YouTube channel or joining our Patreon. If you want to join any of our campaigns, we do have open slots available right now in our Tuesday game, our Friday game. So be sure to reach out to me and let me know. Alrighty. Where last we left off, the party had just concluded their downtime activities, learning more about the nature of the Volstruckers, their serum that they are forcibly injected with, and learning a little bit more about the culture and community surrounding you, as well as outside of Pride's Call. Learning some Thieves' Cant for many of you, and learning Zemnian for one of you. At the end of 6 weeks, you all going about your normal everyday business. You are sitting there at the tavern, drinking lively, joining in with the festivities, the dancing, the carousing that everybody in this town just fucking loves. When the front doors swing open, loudly crashing into the walls. One evening. John, describe what you look like as the wind had just thrust the doors open through your hands and crash them into the walls.
Yeah, John is a human male, dark hair, dark eyes. He's probably in his mid-30s or so, clean shaven, very fine looking coat, jacket, dark blue. He's got a pristine white glove with a bit of embroidery on his left hand and nothing adorned on his right. You can see the chain of a pocket watch kind of hanging in his front right breast pocket. He seems to have a shimmering vest, also a deep cerulean, and yeah, he looks pretty well put together. He just kind of looks around the room for a moment.
One of the doors just looking at you like, dude, why'd you throw the door open?
He just points over his shoulder.
You look through the location and you don't recognize any of the people other than Goldie sitting over at a table speaking with the proprietor of this establishment, Amy, who you know passingly, but you don't really know.
Met her, just not formally.
Yeah.
I take the line over to Goldie and grab myself a chair if there's not already one present before him.
Oh yeah, there's a chair there.
Hello, friend. I'm looking for our associates. I thought that they would be here. I thought they'd be with you.
Holy shit.
Where's he looking right now?
He's looking at the other end of the bar at numerous individuals who clearly stand out in this location. The Empire and Pride's Call.
He's not here, is he?
I think we need to have a chat.
I think we're in the middle of one.
A little more privately.
All right.
He excuses himself. Excuse me, Amy. He looks over at you, Bernie, and gives you the signal, like, round them up.
Amy, drink for me when I get back down, please. Something cold.
Of course, sweetie. Anything you
Round
need.
up the usual suspects.
I look at everyone around the table there, and Tulsa, Kurt, and Miriam. Looks like Goldie wants to talk to us. Did you see that newcomer? I mean, sort of. Yeah, let's just be a little bit on our guard, you know, in case. Well, I don't want to become of us too paranoid, but you know, Tulsa has her mark. Right? What, Kurt?
Do you want me to look like Weissel and go talk to him and see if he's like an agent or something?
No. I mean, Goldie seemed to talk to him fine enough. Let's just be a bit extra on guard in case some other people show up as well.
John, as you're going down the hallway, you notice that Dragonborn folk, who's very noticeable in this establishment, immediately begins sleuthing, oddly enough, very well, trying to sneak up behind you. But you notice, not right up behind you, but kind of like inquisitively listening.
Thought this was going to be a private conversation, but if your friends are coming as well, do you want me to hold the door for them?
Yeah, if you would like to. It'd be better to hear it from all of us.
He holds the door with his ungloved hand and just gives kind of a short little bow into the room.
Right. Everybody into the hallway, into this room over here.
Wait, so it's clear that he's noticed us?
I'm holding the door open for you all.
Right.
Yeah.
He's on to us.
What do you? I look at John with sort of a slightly skeptical nod, and obviously not quite knowing what's going on here. But
No, either, please. Almost as if he read your thoughts.
Quick question, Joey. The room that we're going in,
Yeah.
is there like a window into it, or is it like a private room?
Yeah, there's a window outside, but you can't hear anything happening in the inside because the windows are like inches thick.
Oh, and I'm assuming it's on like the second floor or something?
No, it's only one story.
Oh.
Dude, 2 stories in this era is fucking money.
Okay.
You're adding a house on top of your house.
That's insane.
In that case,
But yes.
yeah, Lily's like they're on to us, and then like turns the corner and then puts on an armband and then stealthily dashes into the room.
Can I?
this little room.
I'm gonna encode my thoughts while I'm waiting.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Just screaming in my mind. You can't read my thoughts, so I'm just constantly screaming.
Just that cowboy
But
in
anyway.
Hey, check.
Anyways, you all get into the room where Goldie is standing there in the corner, arms crossed, looking perplexed at the situation, a little uncomfortable, but not tremendously on guard. Alright, John, these people here, well, they can introduce themselves. I'm sorry, I forgot your guys' group name that you went with.
The Riptides.
The Riptides. These are the Riptides. They can introduce themselves, though. You go through the handshake and hi. John here. I don't know very much about, but what I do know about him is he was working for a particular individual who is no longer with us.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, they killed him.
Oh. You don't mean
Excuse me, what?
They, in order to help us out in the town, they, he was.
were you working for
Alright.
this Volstrucker fellow?
I was. I mean, yeah.
And you see Bernie being immediately a lot more on edge. What kind of work?
Hold that thought. He's. What about the other one?
His apprentice is out of town.
Right.
He was sent far away to deal with other
So
things.
I spoke with a few of the residents on my way here, and they told me that Weasel was spotted within the last week or so.
Look.
Yeah. Listen, there's no easy way to have this conversation.
I'd like to prepare a
Weasel-
hold person just in case.
You use the spell slot if you prepare it, no matter
Yeah,
what.
that's fine.
Okay. So, I don't know what Weasel does to you every time that you come through here, but you always come back into town like this.
Always.
Yeah. So I watched Weasel quite a lot, mostly because, you know, he lived out of my home every time he was in town. You would show up, pissed beyond belief, yelling, having a conversation, behind closed door, of course. And then you would leave, claiming that you have to just go out of town and do something. Show back up a few weeks, month later or so, and demanding something about giving them back. And then you walk out with a very glazed over look, saying that you have to go out of town and get something again.
Well, since I have his spell book, do I know what the fuck's been happening to this person?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Do I have an advantage because of the book?
You have opportunity. because
Got
of
it. 19.
Yeah, you cast that spell 6 weeks ago. Modify memory.
He's been modifying his memory.
Sorry. Marion, was it?
No one has said anyone's names yet.
No, we did.
Well,
all went around.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
did?
We
I'm
just
sorry.
skipped over like everybody shake
I missed
hands,
that.
introduce
You're
yourselves.
correct,
yada,
but
yada.
incorrect in that we all know each other's names. What do you know about that spell?
You can go in, take any 10 minutes of time, and rewrite it accordingly.
10 minutes.
Marion, you would also be aware if you cast at higher levels, you can go a lot further back than 10 minutes.
But if the wizard is more powerful, that can go to days, potentially even. Does it go up to a year? I forget how long that spell can be upcast.
I believe it can go up to a year.
Or a whole year, potentially.
Right.
Mm.
So, what exactly was the nature of your relationship with these two?
Yeah, they wanted me to work for them, so I was doing some work. Where are his effects? Where did he keep all of his things? I need to look into a few things myself.
Well, he kept all of his things in my estate.
Perfect.
You know, the wing, the same
Yeah.
place. But they have it.
Isn't that nice? I'm so glad you brought them along. I am going to need access to all of this person's things as well as their effects as well.
Hang on just a moment. You never answered what kind of work you said you'd been doing for them.
Yeah, the work that they hired me for. They need secrets and information and that sort of thing, and I go get what they need.
So you're a spy for hire or something like that?
No, actually, farthest from it, I would say. I am a hypnotist. You might have heard of me. I've been around Wildemount, the coast, other parts, I'd say, but I am the omnipotent Ocumancer, Jean Voltaire. Pleasure to meet you.
Okay.
None of you are from around here. I can already tell. It's fine.
That's
But I'm known amongst these parts. I'm not a spy, as you so callously would put it. I just know things and know how to know things.
Right. So you're not a spy, but you do spy on things as well.
I do what I need to do in order to serve myself. Look, is my profession really a question that needs to be answered at this point? I'm kind of, something was taken from me by this person, and
Right. Yes, fair. We're not trying to. I mean, there are things going on here, but are you? I'm going to quickly cast Zone of Truth.
All right, you start weaving the magic, and Zone of Truth is now up. Everybody in the room.
oh, I love these things.
What kind of save is it?
Charisma save, correct?
Yeah, I think it's the first time I'm using it in the game.
I remember it is a charisma.
Yep. Your DC
Is 16.
14. You're 16 now?
Oh, I forgot
Natural
to,
zero.
yeah, I forgot to update the token thing.
Thank you. Dirty 0. Oh no.
16.
Tosha has advantage.
Yes.
Yep. So Kurt fails. Marion fails. John?
Oh, I said I choose to fail. I love the.
Okay. And you know that Tosha can lie, Lily can lie. Bernie, you have to make the save yourself. You're in the room.
All right, yeah.
Oh, and I'll roll for Goldie.
Yeah, I'm going to fail against the spell.
Goldie fails.
Right, just making sure we're all on the same page here. I give Kurt a somewhat skeptical look. You don't owe any allegiance to the Empire, do you?
Perhaps. I mean, I might be a citizen. Does that make me?
But you're not an officer or anything associated with the Empire in an official capacity.
I'm not sure. But currently, no.
Okay.
Gotta love fucking rogues.
Sorry. Why did you kill this agent? Who are all of you?
Well,
Are you trying to incite a war? I mean, I'm curious.
we're not trying to incite a war. But the war is already coming. And Pride's Call is right in the middle of interesting developments. And your two Volstrucker compatriots, they were very much involved with the war efforts that's going on between Tal'Dorei and the Empire.
Right. You killed my employer because they were Zemnian.
No, they were
Because they
assholes.
blew up people.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Am I gonna do this, Bernie, or are we talking this out?
What? Where are you?
Yeah,
Right
still-
there.
No, as a reminder, Lily is invisible.
Yeah, as a reminder, you're right there. You just spoke.
Yeah,
No,
but
but I'm
so
over here.
Bernie's a bit taken aback from suddenly hearing her voice. Right. We're not doing anything rash here. I mean,
Oh. Okay. Is the correction to you, Jean Van something? We didn't kill him because we wanted to. He villainously kidnapped one of our group, and when we went to go talk about it, he then attacked them, and then after that, it was just a big mess, and eventually even his apprentice was like, kill them all, kill the town.
I mean, kidnapping, you could have stopped there. I think that's well, maybe a bit of an overreach, but appropriate response given the circumstance if it was going to be on. What exactly, if I may, what purpose would you have for taking all of their things? Why? What need of them do you have?
What need of them do you have?
I think it's time.
I think it's quite obvious. They've taken something from me, and I would like that back. So, I think my question should be answered.
I went through his stuff to essentially throw them all off track. What did you need from him? I'm guessing most of the stuff would be Kurt, right? Because Kurt was supposed to pretend to be him.
I'm sorry, that is of my own personal knowledge to be aware. If I could have their things, please, quickly.
Right. Before we get to that, what are your plans now that you know this?
I plan to get back what is mine. I think that is abundantly clear.
After that,
I'm a hypnotist, performer. I intend to continue my work.
purely as a performer.
Well, whatever, may take me, should life steer me in that direction.
Right, okay.
I have a question. If you don't believe in hypnotism, it doesn't work on you, right?
I'm sorry, did you say I do not believe in hypnotism? Let me assure you, it is a very, very potent ability that's very few possess.
Sure. I definitely believe you.
I think
Definitely.
he points down to the zone of truth.
Right.
Definitely.
Isn't there a spell called Hypnotic Pattern?
There's a lot of spells.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've, I suppose, we'll sort this out then. Who has the Volstrucker's things?
Probably I have him. Hey, I could talk to him. I think what my brother was trying to get at is, you gonna tell anyone that the Empire's not here anymore?
I mean, if they ask, probably not, unless it were to serve me in some way.
We're trying to stay as far out of the whole war thing as possible. That's kind of our goal, to be a place not overrun with armies and soldiers and stuff.
I mean,
So
Gouldy, war is bad for business, as I'm sure you understand, so I really have no intention of causing any unnecessary trouble.
right.
Well, that answer works for me. I'll go give him his stuff. I don't see why holding on to his stuff would matter if I'm trying to be Weisel anyways. I'll s-
So you reach into your bag and withdraw his robes, clothing that he had specifically. The spell book.
Spellbook's with me. I haven't
Um,
given that back. Sorry.
All right, then clothing.
Supposed to have clothing. I can take you to his room if you want to go in there.
Yeah, is this everything?
Isn't it right here, his room? I'm not sure.
No, his room was inside of Goldie's.
Yeah, we're at the
estate.
tavern.
Oh, yeah, I'll take him to Goldie's estate. Yeah, that's everything I have on me
Alright.
from him.
All right, let's all go to my estate then. Yep. All right, this is happening. And all
I mean, he asked the question, is that everything? And, well, you're not compelled to speak, of course, but, I don't know, actually. All of the effects. Anyone? Is that everything?
Oh, I did not. Was not one of the ones who searched his room.
You just see me turning the clothes inside out and dropping them on the floor in the zone as we leave.
What? I need those. Thanks. I'm gonna pick those back up.
So, you all making your way across town, walking fast into Goldie's estate. Enter into the room, which is still untouched by anybody else who has stayed there thus far. John, the room is pristinely kept, same as what you remember when you were given your job last time and left.
Investigation, papers, correspondence, books, that sort of thing. So nightstands, all that.
Yep. Roll me an investigation, please. 23. Hey, you beat the other two when they were in here. Looking through the area, John, you can tell that the drawer had a little bit of a trap mechanism on it that is currently disarmed, so that's good for you. You open it up, and there's nothing in there. Presumably something was in there previously that had to be safeguarded, but it looks too small to be a drawer for clothing to be placed inside of. In addition to that, you go over towards the bed and look in a spot where any trained looker knows to look for. You flip over the mattress. And directly inside of the sheet that goes underneath the mattress fully, you start pulling out notes that he had.
Oh, I call bull snap. That was the one of the first place Lily looked.
You looked under the bed, but you didn't look under the mattress.
Damn
Difference
it.
between the box spring and the.
What did you roll? An 18. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Them's the rolls.
Okay. Hopefully there's something somewhere in here. He starts going through the notes.
Also looking at these notes.
All right. Both of you going through the notes. These appear to be instructions as to where he was headed, where he was supposed to go next to manipulate which noble, personal notes he had, presumably that he was handing over to his student, to be able to know exactly the right strings to touch, the right nerves to push in order to manipulate these individuals into doing what he wants. There's also notes on you, John, that you get to presumably just a little bit before Kurt. Actually, wait, you're both the same intelligence,
Yeah,
aren't you?
I want to make this perfectly clear. If I'm finding this, I'm skimming for obviously my information, and I seal it and going to pocket it as soon as I find it.
All right. You do find a few notes specifically with your name that you immediately fold over and keep.
Well, that
Kurt, you're still looking at the other stuff.
is definitely helpful, but this isn't everything. Who was in here previously? I look at Bernie and Kurt for a moment.
Well, wasn't me. I think I don't know actually who put down there. To be completely honest, just
I look at the tall guy as he's talking. Eye contact isn't your strong suit, is it?
Becomes difficult sometimes.
Okay. That's fine. Was it just you? I look over at Tolsha.
First time being in here.
Quick response. Honest. You. By yourself?
Who is you?
Pointing at Miriam, still looking at him. Yep.
I had help.
Right. The voice.
Right, let's all just be upfront here. Lily, why don't you? I mean, he's obviously not trying to cause us any harm, right? I look at him, and we're not trying to cause you any harm. So let's just sort this out, fair and square. Do we have anything else that anyone might think belongs to this John, was it? John
Voltaire.
Voltaire, all right. I don't have anything. I don't think.
Since it's my first time here, can I cast Detect Magic to see if there's anything that might be arcane that we missed?
Sure. Though anything that was arcane that would last over a month, nothing that you can detect, Holsha. Other than the magic radiating off of your party, as well as Jean's vest. That's it.
Okay. Well, there's nothing else magical in this room. So I don't know if you guys did find anything else in here.
They did, but I think he has trouble speaking.
Well,
Marion reaches
maybe-
into one of his sleeves and holds open his spell book, which I don't believe belongs to you.
No, it does not. I'll take that, please.
And what use do you have for a wizard's book?
Something of mine was taken. I wish to get it back. May I have the book?
I'd like to insight this guy because I don't trust him at all.
Do the two of you consent to PvP?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, go ahead. Insight, John.
I'm sorry. You're
Roll
real
whatever you think is
sketch, dude.
appropriate.
I mean, I kind of leave that to you. I'm not lying about anything at this point. He's just trying to gain more
Yeah.
information. So
24. He doesn't seem to be lying.
I'm trying to get something.
His intention seems self-serving, but not in a malicious manner.
Can you at least, if not tell us what it is, then at least describe what it looks like, so we have some idea of what we're looking for.
I don't think that what belongs to me is any of your concern.
Well, if one of us has it, and
it's nothing that would endanger you or anyone.
right, well,
For a group of individuals that apparently has helped this town, I suppose in some capacity, you seem very resistant in helping one individual.
I'm trying to
Um,
help you. I actually don't know much about this guy's room. It's my second time in here.
Yes, Lily.
I mean, you did just kind of slam the door open at the tavern, demanding like where the Volstrucker guy was, and then like we've never met you before, and then you're asking stuff from us.
That was the when I sat down and spoke to Goldie, who I did ask because we had business, and he invited, I believe, all of you.
we are just to be clear, we're perfectly willing to assist. We just have some concerns we need to concern ourselves with. But so long as you are
Other than the harming of others or yourselves, where do those concerns lie? Can we expedite this somehow?
right, we can help you find whatever you're looking for. At least try. But it's hard to do that if we don't know exactly what
You
we're
want to
looking
be
for.
paid. I see. And you see him reach into his vest and start counting out gold pieces.
What do you?
10 gold, is that enough so I can look at the book for a moment?
Miriam, just hand him the book. I mean,
If you don't find what you're looking for, please bring it back. And I hand him the book. I don't take the gold.
All right. I flip through the pages, just looking at the various names of the spells and seeing if there's any notes pertaining to John in particular. That's all I'm looking for.
Investigation yet again. one spell stands out to you. The one that Marion mentioned, Modify Memory. Reading through some of the notes, you don't understand most of this, but you do understand the portions of the intent of what happens when they cast this spell. In which case, they rewrite somebody's course of actions in their own memory and the events that transpired within a period of time around that. You also notice near the very front of the book, there's a spell called Encode Thoughts, where apparently the caster can pull thoughts out of their head to safeguard them that they will not remember and that will not exist or persist. There are a number of different names under that, one of which is yours.
This one here. Come here. Yes, tall one.
All right.
You see this spell?
Yes, yes.
Encode Thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with it? Have you performed it before?
Yes.
You have. Okay. It's good to know. Here you go. Thank you. All right. I think this is as good a time as any. Is Goldie still in the room with us?
Yeah. He's been supervising, making sure things go peacefully.
As I'm sure you're aware, these Volstruckers that have been visiting Pride's Call for a while apparently haven't been the best for the people or myself or, let's be honest, the whole of Wildemount. I have agreed to assist them. You guys have freed me of that agreement, to which I would normally offer my praise and admiration, maybe even a thank you. However, given the circumstances, I feel, unfortunately, I must ask for that type of debt to be reversed. What I have had taken from me are my thoughts. And apparently, none of those are here amongst any of the belongings that were left with this Volstrucker. What? So many questions.
I mean,
You dispatched him.
Yes.
With great difficulty.
Honestly, we got the jump on him.
And your intentions here are obviously to assist the town and whatever. But what do you plan on doing? Remaining in Pride's Call?
Actually, I believe the brother Barney here was talking to a General Tal'Dorei to start moving their army to here. I was gonna head to Eurosa and move people.
Well, that's not quite right.
I mean, there's no point of hiding things here. It doesn't seem like he's our enemy. What if he's going to hell on us? We're already pretty fucked.
Well, sure, but what you just said isn't quite right still. I mean, we're not... Us here, we just came here for personal reasons. And got mixed up with this Volstruckers and the ongoing conflict. And for now, yes, we're remaining in or around Pride's Call, at least. Trying to ensure that the township is safe for now. But this, what was his name again? Weasel? He was sent quite far away to Allfield.
Oh no, his apprentice was sent there. I'm Weasel.
Right. Okay. So, what was the name of the apprentice again?
I don't think we ever got it.
I thought that was Weasel.
Oh.
No, Weasel was the Volstrucker himself. The dwarf?
Right.
You guys never asked.
We just call him the apprentice.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a note saying his name because there's a lot of notes in here.
Why?
Because
Why would the name be necessary? That's
I
inefficient.
mean, write down blank like name notes, things for this person. Like,
How have you been handling the correspondence of the Bullstrucker with his province?
I sent them all off the Caulfields. Told them that there's a giant magma worm thing and a mithril mine that they need to find and take care of. In fact, that was the plan. If we went to any other town from here after Pride's Call, we determined would be safe. So I think the next one on the map, if I wasn't wrong, is Eurosa. That's correct, guys, right? I think I'm asking out of character. Yeah.
Yes, that is the next closest.
Eurosa, and I think if we got down there, I'd come in as Weissel, and these guys would either make Scarsa look like Imperial military. We do the same thing with the Volstrucker there, deliver a nice message saying how they need to send as many people as possible in this mithril in Caulfield is top priority, and just keep moving.
So you intend to stay here then and protect the town?
Well, until somebody else shows up to protect it, yep.
That's a fair assessment, I suppose.
So
I mean, Tosha,
Yes.
Lily is saying this at more of a whisper, but it's kind of a loud one.
hey, you can still do the thing where you talk with dead bodies, right?
Yes. However, they need to recognize me as non-hostile, and considering he's lacking a jaw at the moment, I don't think it would work.
Well, I mean, I lend you my cloak, and then you look like some other noble woman lady or something, and a cleric, and we can talk to him. I can figure a way around the jaw thing. And maybe, I mean, I agree with Cart. I don't think this guy is untrustworthy as he seems, including that fake thing with hypnotism. I don't think he means us any harm.
All right.
Right. John, is it a fair assessment to say you're looking to retrieve your memories, it seems?
all assessments are fair until otherwise proven. You can make that conclusion, of course.
Joey, since I've learned the spell, I know it's not a permanent hold. It has to be put back into a brain at some point, doesn't it? Or it'd be lost.
It can be put back at some
Right,
point.
but it can't just stay as a chain or an object. It'll disappear after 8 hours.
Unless he was far more adept at it than the note suggests. I mean, there's always the possibility it goes further, right?
The way I see it, through no fault of your own, but still through your fault, I'm kind of left here without something belonging to me, and I'd very much like to get that back. And I'd very much like to accept your gracious assistance in doing so.
Well, I think we've already given you what we have here, what we know. If there is something they possess that we don't know about, then that's not anything that we have any responsibility over. But I will be happy to assist you, insofar as it doesn't take up too much of my time at least.
Joey, would I know any possible ways to reverse modified memory?
Considering your first interaction with that spell was literally a month ago and you've spent no time researching it or learning anything about it,
That's fair.
no.
Okay.
Not to offend, but for what I need, you're probably the least useful person You, I point to Marion, very valuable. You, point to Kurt, we could probably utilize. You, pointing at Tolsha, I think keeping you as far away as possible is probably the best course of action. And of course you, and I don't point to anybody because there's not another person in the room, are probably going to help and hinder in more ways than I can imagine.
Right. Well, if you want our assistance, I'd advise not being quite as, well, brash. It might come off as a bit insulting, you know.
Yes. Honesty, I thought, is what you guys enjoyed working with. I'm only saying, speaking in a manner in which that you are wanting to hear, but I can tell where you're getting at. Friends, I would love to have all of you along in my quest for...
I like this guy, Bernie. This man is so much more fun. I'm gonna put my hand out. Kurt, nice to meet you. The voice you keep hearing, why are you still invisible?
I would have waited. That would have
Your electronic
gone now.
Oh.
No, it hasn't been an hour. Invisibility's an hour. This has been like 20 minutes of interaction.
How long did it take to walk here, though?
Like 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And that voice, you can come out now. I'm not going to say her name because I want her to introduce herself.
Yeah, Lily will go ahead and probably right next to Marion, just end the invisibility and introduce herself.
Hi there, my name's Marion.
He already knows that's my name. You can't do that joke twice.
I didn't say Marion, I said Marion. Mary.
It's strange. Siblings. Very odd.
Very astute.
Well, it's only the inflection on the voice, even it being distorted as it is, and obviously the rapport. You two, it was obvious. He points at Kurt.
Was it the horns? Yeah, the horns give it away.
I thought it was the skin color.
Oh.
He's the pale one.
I thought it was just after you guys go to the bathroom at the same time.
It's our gift and curse.
This is mine.
You always got a bath.
Noticing things. I am wanting to know, though, after I check the contents of this letter a bit later, would I be able to find you all at the recent establishment that we were?
Well, at least for tonight, but we're usually around town.
Funny the way you said that.
Right.
Do you want me to call you Marion? I'm just not looking at Lily.
Just call me what everyone else tends to call me is, hey, you, Dragonborn, yes, you, or something, you know.
I'm placating all of you. You can ask me to call you whatever you'd like, and I'll do it.
Oh no, I can perfectly tell you're placating me. Absolutely fine.
Oh, surely.
I think Lily will suffice, right?
Understood.
We killed the DM, everyone.
Jesus fucking Christ. Pulling teeth to get a fucking name.
We'll be assisting you in looking for something we don't know exactly what is then.
And it does give us.
But yeah.
So it gives an excuse for a change of scenery. I feel like I've been in this town for ages.
It's getting a bit old, as it were. But I mean, we don't really have any clear indication of where to start. We
Well,
looked through the room here, right? And none of us have found anything else.
if I might make a suggestion, why don't we start by just asking him? The weasel.
You have that capability.
I do, yes.
There was a reason to keep you at arm's length. I'm gonna pull you right in.
Right.
Got it.
Well, let's go do that then. Can you do that today, Tulsa, or do you need to?
I can, but Lily needs to figure out a way around the jaw thing.
I've already got it here.
You pull out a prosthetic jaw.
And
Yeah,
his
no, like, I
body's
can-
still nice and toasty in the bag.
I know it's been dissected, so it's probably still at what's at
I could have
Ogrim's.
cleaned up. I'm a professional. I wouldn't leave a dead body on a nice table for him.
We
Sure, that's a lot of
right
stitches.
after we do this, can we bury that guy once and for all?
Do I want to know why you have that, Lily?
You want an honest answer?
Yes.
Well, too bad I'm not going to give one.
And then Lily walks out.
That was a very honest answer.
So, as you're walking out, Lily, you see one of the militia here walking down the hallway, being followed by a small individual, a gnomish individual, who has twigs like tied into their hair, walking with a cane, but they're not that terribly old, who looks at all of you very questioningly as you all pass, and the militia goes, hey, everybody, sorry, he just has to speak to Starosta, so.
Right.
I'll,
Good night.
have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
As we walk away, I'm going to use my detect thoughts ability on the gnome.
Oh, no.
Oh, gnome.
Send.
All right, you're gonna have to take a week off next week. That's, anyways, as you cast detect thoughts, the gnomish individual is looking at all of them, going, "Wow, they're weird.
Yeah, I'm
Holy shit."
gonna say bye in halfling as I pass the gnome.
I'm gonna try and dig a little.
You presumptuous piece of shit! I'll shove this stick so far up your fucking ass. Bye.
I'm gonna try and dig a little bit deeper.
Okay, so that's a wisdom save.
Let me double check again. I think so.
All
detect
right.
Thoughts.
Well,
I remember too. I think don't gnomes have
I believe it's wisdom.
gnomes have
Certain gnomes have certain advantages. This is a magical effect that you are trying to dive deeper. It is a wisdom save, I believe. I'm trying to read through quickly, but intelligence.
Oh, all right. Actually, no, I'm not gonna try and dig deeper though.
It's wisdom. It is wisdom.
Yeah.
So you're not going to
No,
dive
I'm
deeper? Okay. They just sit there holding on to their stick and watch as all of you leave. And then he'll go and speak to the Starosta. So, all of you are going to Agrim's home with the stranger?
I don't know. We have the body with us, don't we?
Sure. So, where are you going to... There's a courtyard out here if you want to
This-
pull out the...
We'll go to the middle of the tavern. There's tables there.
Guys, is there a cemetery? Let's really Halloween this one. I mean, Hallows Eve this one up.
I mean, I don't think I'm allowed in a cemetery.
I mean, why would you be allowed there? Are you doing something with the corpses?
It was his last unboxing.
That's disgusting.
There he goes.
Okay, I think we should do this in a cemetery though, just because I think it would be better vibes. We could, Maybe we could all look like different people. I have a disguise kit. I'll make myself look like a woman or something like that's crying. Maybe he'll think it's like his
Why don't
funeral.
we just go back to the inn and do it in the same room we spoke earlier? It seems
It's gonna smell
enough.
disgusting.
Honestly,
It's not. I've been keeping it fresh.
Haven't
It
you
hasn't
been
decomposed.
What,
Is
what
it
exactly are
dissected?
you? What kind of wizard are you, actually, Miriam?
It's kind.
I'll tell you that in the room where we can have not people walking around when we're talking about a body.
I will need to borrow your cloak, Cut.
My cloak. I thought gave that back to Lily.
Lily,
Yeah,
yours.
yeah, no.
Whoever
Yeah,
has
Lily
it
will.
at the moment.
Lily will give the cloak the Tulsha.
Party management.
John, you are quickly realizing your mistake from your
And Bernie's just looking at him apologetically. Just,
I don't know. I thought a few.
Trust in anybody.
Between the 5 of them, there's about 2.5 wits. Oh,
I just thought a
Not much wisdom.
graveyard would be kind of cool to do this in. Whatever. You know what? Graveyards are fun.
yeah. One's Tolsha, one's Bernie, the other 3 are half. So, you all make it. Are you going to the graveyard or the inn?
I think it's
Please
better
go
at
to
the end.
graveyard.
All right, so you go to the inn. All right, fine.
Not in the main room.
Barian has the
One of
body.
our-
You go to the inn.
One of our private rooms.
All right. So you go into one of your rooms, pull out the dead body, and slap it onto the bed, where immediately all of you who have not been a part of this entire process see his body lying there covered in stitches all over the wrists, the arms, the legs, the torso, the neck, everywhere. Every single portion of this individual has been stitched up.
This isn't gonna be a fun
Oh, right.
conversation.
I forgot about
Eh.
I forgot you haven't been a part of this.
How does this work? We just talk to them and they speak back, and that's all there is.
Well, currently they're missing a complete lower half of their
I'm
face.
I'm asking
Just-
Tolsha specifically because I have not seen this spell before.
I will animate the body using divine magics to ask its 5 questions. It can be more nondescript, or it only knows what it knows in life.
So only you can ask it questions.
Typically, yes, which is why I needed the cloak, because you would recognize me from before. So I would have wanted to try to attune to the cloak so that I can turn myself into a nondescript cleric that looks kind of like hooded over where he can't tell whose face it is.
So whatever may happen, do not ask questions about me.
Right.
Ask him about context though, in the coming towns, specifically the city Rexington and Eurosa.
We've talked to our dad enough to know what not to ask him, right?
Have any of you? I think Bernie was the only one specifically training in that.
I'll be sh-
I mean, y'all trained in thieves' camp, but he was trying to like learn more about like the discretions of dealing with these types of people.
If we have a spare question, be sure to ask him where he ended up, whether it was the Hells or the Abyss or one of those bad places.
They don't know that.
No.
It only knows what it knew in life.
Let's focus on this very specific thing of finding an object that belongs to John without saying John's name then. Or am I understanding you correctly, Mr. Voltier?
I mean, I'm just trying to recover my memories. If there is a physical compartment or something that they might have been put away in, that'd be terrific. Have you dealt with Volstruckers before, Tolsha?
Aside from
Besides
attacking them, no.
dealing with them, have you spoken, made deals, conversed?
I have spoken with a Volstrucker before.
Right, on terms of business, correct?
Sort of.
Okay, that's a no.
It's complicated.
Probably disguise not the best idea then. Just speak to him plainly.
Well, if considering I was one of the ones that he saw before he died, if he recognizes me as hostile or an enemy, he has no means to tell me the truth.
He will recognize you as such if you are parading yourself around as something you are obviously not. It'd be best to be direct. Very direct.
Very well, I guess I can ask the questions and you guys can insight them.
Just do not hide anything. Ask him what you wish to know.
Very well. Lily, if you could add the jaw.
Sorry, I was
Lily.
a little distracted because the tongue's a bit floppy. But yeah, no, sorry, you're here. Let me get this screw.
Lily pulls out like a drill and just starts fastening it to the
Fantasy drill.
jawline. Fantasy drill.
Yes, fantasy drill. Anyways, through the process, you have fashioned the jaw, and Tolsha, you are able to cast
Speak with death.
Speak with Dead, where you watch the body twists uncomfortably as the mechanical jaw immediately starts going up and down nonstop.
That is honestly extremely disturbing.
All right, so allows it to answer the questions you pose. Why does it keep going back down? People, stop typing. The corpse must still have a mouth and can't be undead. The spell fails if the corpse was the target of the spell in the last 10 days. Until the spell ends, you can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. The corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the languages it knew. Answers are usually a brief, cryptic, and repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy. The spell doesn't return the creature's soul to the body, only its animated spirit. Thus, the corpse can't learn new information, doesn't comprehend anything that has happened since it died, and can't speculate about future events. Everybody get the rules.
I have one question. Are his eyes sewn shut from all the stitches?
No, there's no veins in the eye. Well, there's no good veins in the eye.
There's the ocular one for the eyes. So.
The best ones we would have gotten were from the spine up to the brain. That's about as far as they would get.
Yeah, there's no reason to do it on the face. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, the jaw unhinges. Go ahead, ask your questions.
Were all of your belongings in the Baron's estate that you brought here to town?
You will never find my belongings.
Harry.
Yes.
The book.
Oh. I hold open the book. Or hold up the book. It's
It can't process any new
that's what I
information.
thought, but I'm a wizard. I can't learn this spell.
Yeah, this is only Tolsha. Yeah, she's the only one who really understands it. So that was your first one. Tolsha, you said you were not disguising? I thought that was the discussion you all had.
I was going to.
Or are you disguised? You are disguised. Yes. Okay, then his answer is completely different. He doesn't recognize you as an immediate enemy.
Yeah.
No.
Where are the other belongings?
My collections are kept inside of my home. My congregation of information is kept on the handler.
Where is your handler?
They move constantly, picking up from others when it is needed. That was 3.
We need to get in contact with them. How can we reach them?
Only one of us can contact the handler to pick up our collection.
What his name is, I can do it.
I'm looking to everyone else. Last question. Any recommendations?
Ask him what the handler's name is. I can contact him if I have his name.
They don't usually. The home, maybe.
I typed it in chat, but like he said that all his information's at his home. We don't know where his home's at.
All of his personal belongings are at his home.
When we questioned his apprentice, didn't we find out his home is in Rexentrum?
Yeah.
So we know where his home is. And we know his name.
Yeah.
We can look him up.
Phone books.
Ask what the handler. If you find out the handler's name, I can literally write him a letter and get it to him.
Yeah, but with all the weird spy stuff and codes, I don't think anyone really knows each other's names to a certain extent, unless they're personal, right?
I mean, what do we got to lose? What else are we gonna ask him?
You could ask him what he planned to do with the information that he had me get.
Why aren't we just asking him where John Voltier's things are?
Where are the things that you seized from your agent named John Voltaire?
With the handler. And then the body deanimates and drops.
Drop the disguise. Well, in 10 days I could ask him more questions.
Sounds beautifully, I'd say, this handler. Am I familiar with such a moniker, Joey?
You've worked for the Volstruckers, but their intricate systems of dealings is only known to them. You're always working with them at arm's reach.
Well, maybe Agram will be able to tell us something more.
This is not a total wash. A name is definitely helpful. A collection is certainly more than I expected.
Which means he's enhanced his variation, his own version of the spell. Or at least they have.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with his home, though.
Neither we often that it is in Rexentrum somewhere, which, considering that is, from what I understand, the capital, is likely heavily defended.
And heavily monitored.
Exactly. So it is unlikely that we can even attempt to get in there at our current state.
I don't know, mate. I think we can blend in with the crowd, right?
I think I
We
might
don't
be
have-
able to get in.
We don't have any like outstanding features that would mark us off as different.
I point to Bernie's horns, your tail, just point to Miriam at his height, point to my eyes.
Point to the xenomorph robot.
Well, Yes, go ahead.
That is as far from the truth as it could be, Lily.
Lily, you've just found out that none of them realize what sarcasm is.
Oh, John does.
Yeah.
You've been with this family long enough to know we don't do sarcasm.
That's the one thing we inherited from our father.
Sarcasm. Is he a knight?
Ah.
You know what? Just for that, I'm gonna learn how to raise a Death Knight and call him Sarcasm. Just for you.
Thanks.
Just wait until Kent dies. You can resurrect him. Anyways.
Oh,
I'm gonna just take out the note and go over it real quick, Joey. Read the letters, whatever they were.
You're cool if I say it
Yeah,
out
no,
loud, right?
okay.
Okay. So the letters here are addressing to the number of times that he has sent you out in order to retrieve information and the amount of thoughts of yours that he has encoded and kept at his disposal. 26.
Fucker.
26 times he's done it to you. In addition to that, you also learn the process at which he does commit to doing this, allowing you to come back into town, go through the rotation of giving all of the information that he had you gather, and upon him saying, yes, I'm going to return all of these to you, he pulls it out of your head.
And he's probably like,
And then he does the same thing to you again. In addition to that, his most recent notes are the information he had you go out and try to discern. He wanted to know if Diastock currently had strong affiliations with the owners of the Herethus mines, as apparently a large platinum vein was discovered there.
Which I found out they
own it, and they even have a setup with a very notable mining family from Uthadurn that has come down to work those mines for them.
This is not the greatest.
The family that owns it is the Astaloth family, a noble house from Trostenwald.
6. Do any dates corresponding to any of the incidents?
What do you mean?
Like date, day, month of when I was to report, or are they just referenced as, this is what I sent the person to do? No.
He didn't keep note of specific dates. He just, each interaction that happened, he took note of, yeah.
Well, apparently I've been back here 26 times according to this, and I have the note, and I just kind of like wave it in the air, tuck it into my pocket again. I do not recall being here more than once. That's troubling.
Well, the way,
Sometime.
well, John, the way I see it, we need something to do, more or less, and you have an issue with this memory thing, so why don't we maybe collaborate on trying to find this handler person, because they might have some information that could help everyone, or at least, you, us, etc. And they sound like, they sound pretty bad.
I fully intend on finding them. As far as dispatching of this character, I would greatly appreciate it if all of you could silence kill whatever it is you do to them, so I may acquire what I need. Would this be a amenable contract that we might form?
Let's
Contract.
hang on a little bit here.
You don't do work? I thought you were mercenaries. The Riptides and all that kind of sounded like a mercenary.
Actually, if you want to sign a mercenary contract, I got just a contract for you. In fact, we should start actually doing
Perfect.
contracts.
Yes, if you could, include the bits about the handler, my memories, all of that, it'd be great.
Stop
yeah.
it with the damn contracts, Kurt. And
No,
everyone.
this is business. Excuse me, sir.
John, we're not a mercenary group.
I would like to put a time limit on it as well. As you can guess, I've already lost enough of that, and I would like this done within the year.
Okay, I could actually write up a contract that's perfect for that. Here, standard bridge birders work contract. Actually,
Make sure to read everything at least 5 times. And also check for any smaller script on the lower half of the last page.
So you haven't had many contracts in your favor before, have you? I'm so sorry. Yes, it will be checked several times. We'll reach an agreement, I assure you.
Through the contract in the group chat.
Oh dear God!
Y'all are lawyering off here.
I'm not. I won't be part of any contract here.
Oh no.
But anyway, as Kurt is writing this down, Jean and Tolsha both notice that gnomish individual is walking into the tavern alongside the Starosta and that same guard as before. You just notice outside the window.
Hi, Peabody.
Wait, what? Oh,
Back in the bag.
Shit.
Shove the body back into the bag quickly.
You can just fold it.
Yeah.
Oh no! At some point too, while
It's just ragdolling.
This mannequin shirt looks lifelike.
yeah, no, as once the bag gets like halfway and so it's on like only half the weight, Lily starts like using what's that called? Not gravity. She's swinging the bag
Shake it?
around. Yeah, shaking it, swinging it around to get like the momentum for the body just slipping the rest of the way.
All right. A moment goes by as you're all wrestling with this, and you hear, "Hey, sweeties, you're in there?
Yes.
Do y'all have a moment?"
I prestidigitation to make sure everything looks nice.
Sure.
Yes.
Your family, so you shouldn't be doing anything too private in there.
Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, sorry. I was about to say we're indecent.
Technically.
No, but come in, Amy. What's
She opens the door, smirking at you all.
To be fair,
Hello.
that one is adopted.
And this guy's new.
I will. I'm leaving.
Yes. Before you do, she'll hold your arm. So the Starosta just brought something through me to see if I can't bring something to somebody else. That's going wrong, not too far away from here. And well, I immediately thought of all of you.
Okay.
So apparently, the VELVIN thicket is having a problem with a mold infestation that's like eating things, something. And they need a little bit of help from some outsiders to handle that for them.
VELVIN thicket. What's that exactly?
Oh, it's a very large forest, about northeast of here, across the river.
Oh. Are there any? So there are settlements in there, then?
No, actually. There's nomadic gnomes that live out there. Nomadic.
Huh. Good one.
Hey,
Thank you. Thank you. Just little families, and usually they don't accept outsiders outside of it as well. They're mostly clans and clusters that keep moving around wherever they please. And honestly, people never get an opportunity to go in there.
really?
I have little experience handling mold. Look at the
But
rest of the
I
group.
do.
And Lily pulls out some sort of device that no one really knows what it does.
Of course you
But anyways, just thought I'd run it by y'all to see if you want to help. The guy's a little concerned about them having to turn to the Empire to help them out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, aren't they already sort of part of the Empire, or are they sort of some kind of separate entity?
No. The thicket is completely separated. Aside from us, they're the only other place on this side of the Wildemount that has zero association with the Empire if they can help it. Nobody's been able to get in that forest. They keep illusionary wards or something like that up at all times.
Well, let's go speak to the gnome at least, everyone.
Well, I mean, if you think about it too, this might be our excuse to be in the Empire, you know, like, oh yeah, these nomadic gnomes asked for outside help and we came in here to do it.
Alrighty then. Well, I'll make you an introduction to him. Come on, everybody, follow me. Mr. John, I have your ale ready for you.
Yeah, appreciate that greatly.
Yep. John, do you prefer it cold or warm?
Cold and sweet.
Okay. It is prepared exactly how you like it, despite you never telling her how you like it, as far as you remember. But anyways, you get over into Pride's Call, or into the actual tavern itself, where you see the small gnomish individual sitting at the table with the Starosta. And Amy will excuse herself. So we'll just drag all of you over here. Here, let me get the gnome.
Must have been so painful for you, Joey, to look up gnome pictures.
That's why I didn't make a token for it. But anyways, there's a gnome at the table. The thing's laggy right now. Hey, everybody. Let me make your introduction to Herwin. And the little gnomish individual is sitting on top of a high chair at the table. Roughly about 2.5 feet tall, give or take. The twigs in his hair are soaking wet from being outside, and his nose is like warted and very warped and large.
What was his name again?
Hey, all of you. Herwin. I'll type it out. Hi, everyone. You're the strange folk I saw in his house.
I'm gonna say hi in halfling again. Yeah, that's us in halfling.
Yes.
You are them, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I suppose we're strange enough.
We heard that you need help with an issue, and we're good at fixing issues.
In fact, we have
Right. What were you saying, Kurt?
we have a contract you can sign for a mercenary job if you need us to do something. He's saying this in halfling still.
Oh my fucking god.
And he's ignoring you completely. Right, yes, we do have a need for a little bit of help. You see, some of our clans, somebody might have just screwed up a little bit over in the thicket, and we have shambling mounds that are rummaging around right now.
What was that? Shambling gnomes?
Shambling mounds.
Mounds of what?
How big are the mounds?
Shambles.
Wait, is that what I think it is? Do I know what that is?
Tosha, roll me a nature check.
Okay. Rolling some nature.
To be clear, I know what a shambling mound is.
I'm wondering if anybody in the party does.
17
Ernie
dragons.
doesn't.
17?
Yes.
Shambling mounds are usually these large plants that are infused with arcane magic wildly without it being intentional, or sometimes intentional. They're very dangerous. They're very destructive. They can engulf people and strangle them from inside their bodies. They're made out of like vines, trees, shrubbery, mold. They're pretty dangerous.
someone create. I describe them like as like somebody made those.
Yep, they're made out of mold. So yeah,
Well, that sounds within our skill set.
and oh, good. Can you do it without destroying the whole forest?
Potential.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean, my friend Kurt here can tell you all about how forest fires and all that stuff that we have not caused at all.
Well, apparently he can only speak in half wit, so I have no idea.
Oh, I'm sorry. You speak common. My bad. This is the normal language I have to speak in.
Kurt, he's been speaking in common this entire time.
I know. I've been speaking to John here about signing his contract. Yes. No. Sorry about that. Here, we have a mercenary group contract that you can sign. It covers everything that we would need. Would you be wanting to pay for the anonymity clause where we keep your?
We don't need a damn contract. Why don't we just hear him out first and try and figure this out? What exactly, and then we decide. Sorry, I'm just a bit on edge.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So we have a shambling mound mold infestation, and we need it handled.
Right. And what are you willing to offer for it?
Offer.
Well, I mean, is there any kind of
How much is it paying?
recompense?
Pay.
Yes.
You got some
Gold.
fun knickknacks you want to trade for it?
Oh, you want things for helping people?
I mean, we'll help you. It also helps us to get some stuff out of it, because if we're putting ourselves in danger, you know.
Sure, I could give you some things. Yes, we will give you
I
things.
don't like this is why I like contracts, because it clearly defines what he's giving us. I don't want a freaking tomato.
All right, guys, we got stuff. Let's go do this to get some things.
No.
Blow
no,
your
no.
roll.
Well, I'm not doing that.
Marion reaches over to get just gonna stand there because there's no way he's getting eye level with this gnome.
You are 4 times his size.
So you said someone screwed up. Exactly how did they screw up that caused this?
Somebody was experimenting with some more protective magics to make sure that we don't have any of the, looks around, Empire dogs coming in there. And they whoopsie.
They whoopsie.
Sorry, whoopsie is a technical term in our magecraft when somebody makes a boo-boo.
Right. I think we get the gist of
I have an idea. This.
Yes, what were you saying, Bernie?
No, I was finished.
Oh, sorry, I trailed off.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Lily.
I have this. Did he or she ever complete that protection spell after the whoopsie, or do they know how it works? Because, I mean, if we'll help you if you want to share how to protect from the Empire.
No, they didn't complete it.
Oh well.
The whoopsie happened too.
Right. So they died. Or
I mean, if they made an experiment and it exploded and caused these things, I don't see them living through that easily.
Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to go there and help out these gnomes.
right. Well, before we do that, what was your name again, sir?
Herwin.
Poen.
Her.
Oh, Herwin. Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
So.
You think she wins?
Right.
Herwin.
Right. What sort of? You said you have no. Well, it seems to me like both you and, your community and Pride's Call share the same sort of aversion towards the Empire. Right. And it just so happens that Pride's Call is, well, I look at the Starosta and in a bit of a predicament because they might become a target for the Empire.
I don't care.
Well, sure, but would you be, maybe you and your people might be able to assist with defending Pride's Call if necessary at some point?
No.
Not even with any kind of illusion magic? Isn't that what you do?
Well, we use our illusion magic to protect ourselves. We don't like any
So,
of you.
so let me get this straight. You're asking Pride's Call for help to help with your problems, but you refuse to provide any help to Pride's Call when they need help.
I'll give you things.
Okay, guys, I'm not taking this contract. In fact, I think this is not worth it. If the offer is things and we're fighting a beast that's made of mold.
But here's the thing: is where
Lily is whispering this to like, you know, that thing where you like huddle when you're right over there.
well, here's the thing: is we were about to head out to that place, Eurosa, anyways, right? We can make a detour to this thicket, deal with that, get some things, and then head to Eurosa as if we weren't going from Pride's Call. That way, it's not suspicious.
What are the things?
My God.
Like,
if you bark skin.
it's
A
scroll.
spell?
Yeah, that's a
That's
spell.
some
isn't
sort
it?
of condition?
No, it's skin from the tree, barks. Do you not want that?
Well, I can get bark for free just over by the...
All right, fine. Leathers.
How about we talk to the person in charge when we get there, and then we'll find out how much this is actually pain in the ass to deal with.
Roll me persuasion.
Oh, I shouldn't have opened my mouth.
When
I mean, we're all sort of in on this thing.
Bernie can do it as well.
Thank God. Because I got a 3.
No, I was going to say maybe we could get advantage on your check, but okay, I'll roll it.
You want to roll instead of me getting advantage.
Well, I'm not super at persuasion. I mean, Kurt's
why didn't
probably
Kurt do this? Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you kept being
Well,
argumentative.
because you were using a different tactic of strong arming. They're like, hey, how about we just do this?
We got a check out of this.
Hey.
21. Bernie's pretty good. I don't have permission from the clans to be asking for your help.
I see. So
They want to go to some of the dogs that have been outside of our forest before and ask them.
right.
Oh, that's not good.
So you're
Yeah.
a bit of a maverick then.
I don't know
Well,
that. Is that an
It
insult?
means you're a
No.
bit cool.
Yes, I'm very cool. The temperature is
I
nice.
sort of meant wild card, but all right.
I'm very wild.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, if we can assist you and your people, we would very much appreciate some kind of recompense for it, either as for us as individual, as a group, or. But I think it would be in both yours and Pride's Call's interests. If you could maybe help each other with, to stand against those imperial dogs, as you call them.
I think what he was getting at is he's not the guy in charge to even make that call.
Well, sure, but I mean, maybe you can at least put that word in.
If you kill the mounds, sure.
Insight
Get
check.
them all dead. Gone. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
This is a gardener who chopped down the tree he wasn't supposed to, and he's trying to get a florist to plant a new one before the boss gets back.
Wow.
Lily believes what she believes.
14s. Jeez, and you're supposed to be
Can
good
I
at that.
also roll insight?
Two people interact
I
with
mean,
the check at a
we're
time.
one person in this scenario here. Look at that.
The individual has the gaze of a slightly evasive creature. There's something there, but you can't quite put your finger on it.
I know a bad deal when I see one. This is a bad deal. They're not willing to even give us a straight answer on things. Like,
Well, what type of things do you like? You're having
like
me
money.
guess. Money. Oh, that's the
Gold.
shit you
Gold,
guys
yes.
use.
Provide us.
I don't have a lot of gold, but I got this. He reaches into his bag and throws a pouch onto the table. You see platinum pieces and gems spill out of
Perfect.
it.
There we go. Deal's made. We'll be there. Yes.
You want that?
Yes. I don't know why
Yes.
this was ever a question.
Cool. He pushes it forward and just there.
How much
Have
sign
it.
on
diamond
bonus.
gems did he just?
Now you work with me, right?
Yes. Sign this contract. I'm gonna put the contract down.
Is it?
He'll look at the piece of paper and starts like reaches into a pouch and pulls out some type of herbs and puts it on there.
I know what he's
Is
doing.
he trying to roll
And
it?
just starts rolling it up.
Lily is gonna stop him real quick, and then pull out some of the herbs she has and put that on there as well.
I mean, I guess this is
Ooh,
a way
natural.
of signing it
Oh
legally.
no!
He doesn't know what the fuck a contract is. Come on. He lives in a
You just gave
forest.
him a very big blunt.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Thank you. This is how we do things
Huh.
too. We celebrate on deals.
yes. I'm gonna look at the bag real fast and snatch it and be like, I'm gonna just count this.
He literally pushed it over to you guys.
Gems. Okay.
Gems
Yeah.
and platinum.
It is 30 platinum pieces and 700 GP worth of various
Holy
gems.
shit!
Okay. Looks like we hit them all low, guys. Looks like we're dealing with this thing. Oh, you come in. Did you sign that?
You people are so easy. You like money. And he's just smoking your piece of paper now.
John, did you end up signing that contract I put in front of you? Are you paying for any of those side things like medical or repair or anything like that? 'Cause we just signed on with somebody else right now, but we can still get to yours.
Yeah, he'll pass it over to you, Lily. No problem.
Yeah,
Really?
we're definitely going to have to work something out.
Right. Well, seems like we've got our work cut out for us now then. So how long does it take you
Cool.
to go back to Velvet Thicket from here?
Oh, it's a pretty solid walk. It only takes about like 3 months.
You said walk.
Right.
We have horses.
Oh, a lot faster.
So-
Maybe like a week.
Right. So to be clear,
He's got little
you've been
legs.
walking for 3 months to get here?
Yep. Throws his foot on top of the table and it's just blisters.
Right. So they needed help 3 months ago.
The problem happened 3 months ago.
Right. Okay.
So,
Well,
I recommend we fly tonight on my ship and get there tomorrow.
There's only one body of water.
My ship flies on the sky.
It's easier for Shoya.
He looks
The
at
blunt.
the blunt.
Yeah. This is some good ship.
Yeah. That was
I mean, technically, yeah, the stuff that Blueberry gave us is pretty good.
yeah, it is. It's really good. It's made by a fucking archdruid, dude. It's good.
He's an archdruid?
Oh shit. No.
Hey, he talks to the big ape and deals with a T-Rex. He's an archdruid in our hearts.
That's true.
Yeah. He's the greatest druid on this plane of existence. Don't argue with.
Somewhere in the universe, Silver's just like, what the fuck?
Is this a short Thuros? Look at his like, what ship?
Starosta is very confused with this entire conversation, but will ask for a pass from me. And just watching you
Pass
all.
this shit.
Hey, so, I would like to say finder's fee. Just toss me one of them gems and we'll be good. Well, this is a capitalist society, guys. You gotta keep coin moving in order.
I'll give him an opal.
Oh, the
Hey, thank you.
wow.
Remove 5 GP from all of the gems you have. Anyways, there you go. You found your help, little guy. Best of luck to you. Yes, they are useful, right? They've helped us out tremendously, even if it was on accident. All right, goodbye. John, if you need to stay here a few days, do whatever you're doing, you're more than welcome to. Sorry about everything that happened, but, yeah.
Would have been nice to know something beforehand, but I appreciate the concern. And I think free night's stay at a local tavern would definitely help make up for it.
Yeah, whenever you want, man. Actually, just stay at my estate. Don't want to bother Amy too much. All right? Yeah. You don't really strike me as the type of guy that'll kill me in my sleep. And he, like, pats you on the shoulder.
I didn't underestimate your generosity. Thanks, friend.
Anyways, all of you, thank you as well. Shakes your hands.
Right.
Um,
Goldie, do you have anyone of your people who are, well, versed in arcane arts?
no.
Okay. I was just
Well, I mean, technically, but you know him.
right. Well, I suppose maybe he will be able to reach us magically then, if necessary. I mean, in case anything happens here and we need to come back quickly.
Oh yeah, of course. I'll be sure to immediately hit you guys up immediately, like with anything.
All right.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Right.
But anyways, it has been a pleasure getting to know each of you. You always have a home here in Uthadern whenever you... Wow. You always have a home here in Pride's Call whenever you...
Strong stuff, right?
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 Shoot, I thought I went all the way.
Must be some
You
really
went
good
all the
shit
way
then.
north for that one.
I went back 6 generations to Uthadern. Holy shit. Just walks away.
All right.
Yes.
Right. So, John, I guess you're welcome to tag along if you want. Are you planning on staying here and taking him up on that offer then, or?
More akin to keeping my business close to the chest. Our friend here, Marion, I'd like to spend some time with, if that's all right. You don't mind me parading along at least until we're able to set in our formal contract.
By all means, join us. Could have more company.
And
For this endeavor, we're to remain separate parties. Is that correct?
I mean, if you're joining us on this task, I'd of course say that you would get a share of the pay.
Right.
Well, we need to get you an official Riptide uniform.
He looks at everyone else looking for the uniform.
I look at Lily with sort of like, see, I can do it as well.
Lily, when you look at her, gives her a thumbs up, saying like, as in like, yeah, I got you. I'll make the uniforms. We'll get the jerseys.
Oh no, that's not what I had in mind at all.
Too late.
Yes, John.
I can tell, other than my own troubles, this group is definitely wound tightly in the mental department. Seems like
Well, that's what you do with family.
a lot of issues going on up there. Could definitely do well benefiting from some of my services. And he just smiles. Not creepily or anything, just kind of softly. Have any of you experienced hypnotism firsthand?
Well, I've firsthand know that hypnotism isn't a thing.
I mean, that's very strange because it quite certainly is. For instance, what would you say is the one thing that you would never find yourself to do?
Actually, so I'm thinking about that now, and I'm just. There's
Tyrion
Lily's
looks
helping a
right
gnome.
at you. Please, you do not know the horror that will come of this. I beg of you.
I see the fear on your face, friends. It'll be all right.
I mean, for Lily, it'd probably not cause chaos.
I need to know from the source.
Hey, I'm not a causer of chaos. I am just a
He just gives you the stink look.
who does what.
Even the gnome drops their expression.
I just do what comes naturally.
Which for you is chaos.
So if there was something, that somebody told you Lily would never do this thing, she's incapable, it'd be against her character, what would that one thing be?
Following the law.
I'll play along. I'll placate you.
she says before leaning. I'm gonna whisper it to you, John. Yeah, John. So
Sure.
Make sure you let the GM know too.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will.
She would never pass up on a Minotaur.
Jesus.
She likes big boys and she cannot lie.
Hey, we all got preferences.
Yeah. Right. Well, Herwin, are you ready to travel tonight, or did you plan on staying here for a day?
Wait, you stay in these places?
These houses, yes.
Weird.
Do you not have shelters in your village or tribe?
We have huts and tents.
Right.
We move a lot.
Why'd you move? Isn't it better to stay in one place and cultivate?
Boredom.
Right.
Also, I have to check the protective wards.
Right. Okay.
It's really important to keep people out of there.
Why?
Because if people came in there, they'd annoy us and get in the way of our practices of magic.
Right. Okay.
As Lily pulls back, John just kind of looks up at the rest of the group, smiles. And now you see that's the first level of master hypnosis. You have to know what the mind is incapable of doing before you can make it cross and do something that it is. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna make me believe you with your fancy talk and mind stuff.
I would never.
Anyways, now that you all have a job to do here in the Empire to allow you to start exploring further, next week we are jumping into the thick of it. And players, thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. Hope you all had a fantastic time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.